I know that they would also like to see some of Shedeur Sanders this year. We know this in part because Jimmy Haslam has told us, yes, absolutely, absolutely, we want to see these two rookie quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders. And I think that everything that they believed in him or about him, I think he has shown that in practice and in games to them, despite some of the reports that were coming out of Berea. I mean, they like what they see. They like the processing. They like the decision making. And I think once they feel that they can game plan for him, that he will even show out better. So, I think anything can happen depending on how the start of the season goes.
Mary Kay Cabot just dropped a shocking claim. Shedeur Sanders might actually start games right from the opening of the season. In her latest report, she made it clear that the Browns are putting even more value on him now than they did when they first drafted him. Despite the negative noise coming out of Berea, Mary Kay insisted the Browns are very high on Shedeur. She pointed out that he's grinding harder than anyone, his decision-making is sharp, and his accuracy is deadly. She strongly believes that once he steps on the field, he'll only get better. In fact, she even suggested that Shedeur could get playing time in the Cincinnati matchup, and it may not take long before he's officially named the starter.
He's passionate, he's dedicated to it, he puts the time in, and those are really the things that you can really hang your head on when it comes to these young players. And then he's shown growth. He's shown growth on the field, and again, it's a super small sample size, so we got to continue to be intentional with his plan and work with him just like we will do with every rookie.
Before Mary Kay Cabot dropped her bold statement, the Browns' assistant GM also spoke out about Shedeur Sanders. He stressed that Shedeur has the right mentality, is grinding non-stop, and has shown major growth. Those qualities forced evaluators to pause and ask, what else can we possibly do to hold back a player this committed? The assistant GM openly admitted that the Browns fully recognize Shedeur's effort and relentless work. With that kind of backing, it's clear the front office believes he's ready and the support from the top is already in place for him to take over at any time. Everything is falling into place, and the future looks electric for Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. And this isn't just about Shedeur's progress. It's also about the age factor with Joe Flacco, which could be the real reason Shedeur Sanders ends up taking control of this team. Mary Kay Cabot made it clear that Shedeur's shot might arrive quicker than anyone expected because Flacco is already starting to lose some of his sharpness with age. She pointed out that there are rising concerns about Flacco's reflexes and overall movement, which clearly aren't at the level they were back in his prime years. As time keeps catching up, those issues could open the door wide for Shedeur to step in and prove himself much sooner than later. The stage may be set for the young quarterback to officially take over the Browns' offense.
The thing about Joe this year, now, at the age of 40, he's probably even lost a little bit of a step over the past 2 years. We don't know for sure, but there's a good chance that maybe he doesn't move even quite as well as he did back then.
Mary Kay Cabot went further, pointing out that one of the biggest concerns with Joe Flacco is his habit of turning the ball over, something that's been a glaring issue in his last 5 games with Indianapolis. For the Browns, this means they'll be forced to put extra protection in place just to try and cover up those costly mistakes. But she warned that even with that added help, there's always the danger of something major going wrong. The risks tied to Flacco's style of play, mixed with his age, make it impossible to ignore that the team has to move cautiously, which only piles more pressure on the likelihood of Shedeur Sanders stepping in much sooner than people think.
These kinds of turnovers. In his last 4 starts in Indianapolis, that was a huge problem. He was turning the ball over like crazy. 9 turnovers in those last. So that's what he's got to stay away from.
On the other side, Shedeur Sanders carries a sharp and determined mindset. For him, just stepping on the field and grinding every single day feels like a blessing, something he used to only imagine. He made it clear that patience is key, and he's fully willing to wait for the right moment to prove himself. When that chance arrives, he intends to grab it with everything he's got. Until then, his focus is locked on working harder than ever, making sure he's absolutely ready when the spotlight finally comes. Every practice, every rep, every second is an investment into his future. And Shedeur is fully committed to pouring in the work, no matter how long it takes. When his opportunity finally shows up, he'll be more than ready to seize it.
I always say I learn life in a different perspective. And that's why I come here. I'm happy. I always got good energy because, I'm blessed to come out here every day. Regardless of the situation, regardless of anything, I know my time, whenever that is, I'll be ready for it, and I'm going to embrace that.
Previously, Mary Kay Cabot stressed that Shedeur Sanders is the main reason the Browns are even staying relevant in the media. With full backing from the team's leadership, it's clear Shedeur is being positioned for his moment. Without him, she hinted the Browns could have easily faded into total irrelevance. But that wasn't the end of her take. She dropped heavy insights that could completely flip the entire narrative around the franchise. Mary Kay insisted that Shedeur Sanders isn't just some hyped-up name. He carries huge potential as a developmental quarterback. She made it clear that his raw talent is far too big for the Browns to overlook, pushing the organization to hand him a real opportunity. While she believes he'll rise to the expectations, she admitted that if he somehow fails, the team can always move on. Still, at this stage, the upside he brings is much bigger than the risk. It's a gamble the Browns can't afford to walk away from.
It was too much value to pass up there, a developmental quarterback that they could take a look at and just kind of see what they had. And if it didn't work out, then you move on from it, but why not give it a shot?
If you want to stay ahead on every Shedeur Sanders update, every Browns headline, and all the inside scoops the media doesn't want you to miss, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss a single moment. Join the team and watch Shedeur's journey unfold live.